Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, January 8th, 2026, and we are here, Doug and I are here to talk about Wild Card Weekend of the NFL playoffs. Doug, we were just talking about beforehand, it feels like it's been forever since we've done a podcast with the holidays and everything else going on. We were both sick and just been super busy, so we are glad to finally be back in the studio doing a podcast. So how are you doing on this Thursday? I know you've been getting over feeling sick yourself. So how are you doing today?
I'm happy I'm getting better finally.
Yeah, I'm glad you're better too.
Yeah.
Glad
you're better.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better than I was, that's for sure. We're glad that you've joined us today. If you're new to the channel, if you would give us a like and then hit the subscribe button. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're not familiar with DFS Coach Talk and this is your first time joining one of our podcasts, we would love to have you join us in our Discord. We have a very family-friendly and positive and encouraging Discord. We're very reasonable when it comes to our price for our Discord. We give out full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo. We give out Draftkings cores for all the major sports. So for NFL, NBA, MLB, and Doug helps out with PGA. So we are going to go ahead and get this thing started real quick here. We'll go with our game-by-game overview. We've only got the 4 games this weekend, or no, not 4 games. There's more than that. 6 games this weekend.
On our own now.
The 4 Saturday and Sunday afternoon games is, kind of my focus, I guess. So that's kind of why I said that. But we do have the primetime games for the Chargers and the Patriots and the Steelers and the Texans as well. So let's go ahead and start it with the Saturday slate. The Los Angeles Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers. Rams are a 10.5 point favorite on the road. The Rams are minus 595 on the money line with an over-under of 46.5. There is a 72% chance of rain, 73 degrees with the wind blowing to the south-southwest at 14 miles an hour. Both these games on Saturday have some weather, things going on. So we'll definitely have to keep up with that. The Packers in Chicago for part 3 against the Bears. Packers are a 1-point favorite currently, minus 120 on the money line with an over-under 45. 45% chance of precipitation. I believe it's actually snow, not rain, that they're looking at. 33 degrees with the wind blowing to the west at 17 miles an hour. Sunday, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bills are a 1-point favorite on the road, minus 115 on the money line with a high over-under of 51.5. 65 degrees with the wind blowing to the northwest at 12 miles an hour. We have the San Francisco 49ers in Philadelphia taking on the Eagles. The Eagles are a 5-point favorite at home, minus 280 minus 250 on the money line with the over-under 44.5. 44 degrees with the wind blowing to the west at 12 miles an hour. Then, as I mentioned, we have the Sunday night game, the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Patriots are a 3.5 point favorite at home, minus 190 on the money line with an over-under of 46. A 39% chance of rain. I believe that is rain. 35 degrees with the wind blowing to the west-northwest at 8 miles an hour. We have the Houston Texans in Pittsburgh on Monday night. Houston is a 3-point favorite on the road, minus 160 on the money line with a low over-under of only 38.5. 33 degrees with the wind blowing to the southwest at 10 miles an hour. So before we move on to the position-by-position plays, anything you want to add for any of the games this weekend before we get into the position plays?
No, just keep an eye on the Jacksonville game for rain. It's not listed on any of the weather thingies, but they have a chance of some decent thunderstorms possibly.
Yeah, I'm only showing them at 11%. So you think I know you do have a background in meteorology, so you think it's going to be a little bit higher than that?
It could be, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're talking. If it hits, it can hit.
Yeah. All right.
And I just keep that in the back of your mind if you're doing like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all 3 games.
Okay. Al Nipper, are you currently a member? We are going to give away.
That's me.
Never mind.
Yeah, my name is Al Nipper today. All right.
Okay, got it.
All right.
I know Terry's a good member of ours, so I'm not going to ask him. I know he's.
I would love to join. How'd you know?
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's go to Saturday quarterbacks. For me, I am looking at, of course, Matthew Stafford.
Everybody is.
Against the Panthers. That's going to be the chalk, I'm sure. I do think Caleb Williams is going to get a lot of ownership too, though. Jordan Love should get, pretty good numbers against the Bears. He had a really nice game against them in Week 14, of course, and I would expect him to, provided he can stay in the game. I know last time he was knocked out, but hopefully he can stay in the game and put up some nice numbers against the Bears. So besides Stafford, Love, and Williams, anyone that you're looking at quarterback?
For Saturday, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Bryce Young would be on your radar, but
he'd be fourth.
Yeah, he 4 out of 4, right? So between the three, though, which one do you lean as your favorite? Not necessarily just as far as projections, but also considering ownership and projections combined.
Stafford's getting 55% love. You're not gonna make a profit on Saturday if he starts that. He's too highly owned.
Okay.
And everybody's gonna be Stafford. Projections, Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Play him. If you do it, run out your lineups. Everybody's gonna have that lineup, because if you do it, line up the players you line up with it.
Yeah,
you gotta have two unique players hit.
Right.
And that the odds on that are low.
Yeah. No, the odds of that are super low. So would you go with Love? Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next. Is if you go with Love or Williams, then. All right. So GPPs, you're going to go with Love.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, single entry cash games. We're going to be looking at Stafford, obviously.
Nope, I'm doing Love in that too.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. All right. Sunday. So we've got. Honestly, I don't think there's a lot of great options on Sunday when it comes to quarterback play. Jalen Hurts would probably be my favorite as far as the matchups go. But, I mean, Josh Allen has, he'd probably be normally on a normal playoff weekend. He'd be the top option on a slate like that. But that's a tough matchup against Jacksonville. They're a very good defense. They've allowed 19.8 points per game. They've won 13 of their last 14 games or something. They're on some kind of crazy streak like that. Can't remember what it is, but they've won a bunch of games in a row. So, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, and then I'm not really sure where else I want to go as far as quarterback on Sunday.
Yeah, I forget which games are on Sunday and Monday.
Sunday's going to be the Bills and the Jaguars, the Eagles and the 49ers, and then the Chargers and the Patriots is going to be the Sunday night game. So that's not going to be on the slate, but yeah.
Okay. Yes. I would not rule out. I definitely Drake May is my second highest.
I like Drake May too. I'm just talking about because you know how they do it on Draftkings and Fanduel and Yahoo. They split it up in these 2-game slates. So you're going to have the early game and the afternoon game on both the Saturday and Sunday slates, or the early evening game.
Yeah, I didn't know if they're doing all three together or just doing.
I mean, I don't think so. That's not how they usually do it. But let me look and see.
Playoffs are kind of weird. Well, I guess they'll do both.
So Sunday main slate is going to be the 2-game slate. No, it is the 3. You were correct.
Yeah, that is normal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Sunday's going to be the 3-game slate. Saturday only 2 games, of course. So so that does change some things. So Drake May would probably be my favorite then, even above Jalen Hurts. I like Hurts and May then. I would probably lean with May more because I think the Eagles are going to try and run a lot with Saquon Barkley. I mean, they have been more lately. He's getting 20 plus carries a game. For a while there, he was only getting like 10 to 15, which made no sense whatsoever. But he's been getting like 20 plus in the last 4 games. So
Yeah, and just to game script that a little more, I could see it being that way definitely because they got 2 starting linebackers now out for 49ers.
yeah,
And so you got that where they can run on it. They could short pass it though too, just easily to Goddard and Brown.
yeah. No, I like several players on the Philadelphia offense. So I could see Hurts definitely being in play too. Obviously,
it's gonna be an elite play calling game, I think, for once for Philadelphia, if not the wheel.
Yeah, they got to get more out of their offense. Their offensive coordinator's been questioned all year, so hopefully for their sake he'll come through. But I would say Hurts in May. Like I said, Josh Allen has a tough matchup against Jacksonville. Normally, I would probably play him above both Hurts and May, but
unless he just sucks them in and throws passes, you don't talk about.
And they don't have they don't have the dominant receivers, and Dalton Kincaid's pretty good as a tight end, but Jacksonville's pretty good against quarterbacks and receivers. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup for him. On the flip side, the Bills are good against receivers. So it could be a running game. The Jaguars' running game is definitely favorable in the matchup against Buffalo for sure. Mm-hmm. And not Jacksonville is not. Buffalo has a tough matchup with Jacksonville. They've allowed the second fewest fantasy points to running backs, and they're number 1 run defense in yards per game. So they're really tough against the run. So that's why I really do, and we'll get to it more later, but I really do like Jacksonville this weekend. Okay, so then we'll go to running backs, as I mentioned. Well, we'll go to Saturday first of all. So Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, I think they're both in play. They've kind of been splitting carries lately. Josh Jacobs is the healthiest he's been since week 11 when he got hurt against the Giants in New York. So I do like him. And it's supposed to be kind of bad weather, real windy and possible snow. So it could be more of a running game. I think a lot of people might be thinking it's going to be Love and Williams kind of airing it out, but it could be the opposite, just depending on the weather. If it does turn more towards the run, obviously the Bears, Swift and Monangai. I think Monangai is probably going to get more carries. He's the bigger back in that kind of weather, but they both should get plenty of carries. And, the teams have seen, and obviously Ben Johnson has seen how they've struggled against the run. The Packers have struggled against the run without Micah Parsons. I mean, Baltimore and Derrick Henry just ran all over them. But I do think that game was a little bit unusual because, Malik Willis was in, and, the Ravens have a 300-pound fullback in Patrick Ricard, and so he really opens up some things downfield for Derrick Henry. They ran him, 35 times or whatever. So, and Evan Williams should be back for the Packers, so that'll help too. He's really been one of their best run defenders. He missed the last game against the Bears, so that should help the Packers a little bit. But I definitely think Swift and Monangai are going to get a lot of carries. So,
Swift looked better too.
Yeah, Swift has looked better. Like I said, Monangai is just a bigger back, so he's been getting more carries around the goal line and stuff like that. So for as far as Saturday goes, which of the backs do you like the most? I don't really have like a clear favorite, honestly, because like I said, you've got Kyren and Blake who've been splitting carries. You've got Swift and Monangai who've been splitting carries. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs is the healthiest he's been, but you don't know if that knee could flare up or whatever at any point. So,
it will. It'll act up on him, but to what extent? It's going to slow up. It's a slowing up thing. He's going to get speeded up at the end of the season.
Right.
Is what will happen. I'm sorry, I've listened to way too many people about it. But anyways, that's what's going to happen. But I think he'll get will definitely get more run out for sure. Than they have.
Oh yeah, they've been giving Emmanuel Wilson a ton of carries of late, including in the last Bears game too.
Yeah, and I think that they aren't going to give him the full load. I think Wilson will be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you nailed your order. Both Rams. I already mentioned both Rams in the same lineup. If you're on FanDuel, I would more encourage it than DraftKings. But that's just pricing. DraftKings pricing standards.
So you said Williams or Corum. Which one do you like more?
On FanDuel, I don't mind playing them both.
Yeah.
At all. I would play them both. On FanDuel, I could play both.
Okay.
On DraftKings, one or the other, you can play over you want. On DraftKings, you can start love.
Yeah.
And then throw in like a Musgrave or somebody in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then bam, you're done. Off you go. For your lineups, it's whatever you want to play.
So are you going to play both Swift and Monangai or just one?
I would play Monangai just like you, because I think his extra strength and will be more useful.
Yeah.
Against the Packers.
Yeah, and like I said, it's supposed to be like probably in the low 30s.
I don't think it's
snow. So
snow is about up to 1 inch.
Okay, so not a lot of snow, a little bit of snow.
The
wind. Yeah, that's always the thing in Chicago, and it was in the last game too. I mean, McManus and Swift or Santos were kicking those balls, and they're going, all the way across the goalpost. So, yeah, the wind has definitely been a factor in the last game.
I like Williams a little more than Corum, but it's not by much anymore.
Yeah.
And for the price, I'd almost flip flop. And
then are you going to fade Jacobson, or what are you going to do with him?
No, I'll be. I'd say there aren't going to be running backs really, but I mean he's be my favorite bell cow running back. Because I think he'll still get the most carries.
Yeah. I think of all the backs on Saturday, he'll get the most carries. Wilson will probably get somewhere between 5 and 10, I would think.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest of them should be pretty evenly split. All right, let's look at Sunday. As I mentioned, the Bills have struggled against the run. They've allowed the 8th most fantasy points to running backs this year. On the flip side, Jacksonville has allowed the 2nd fewest. So I'm pretty much just looking at ATN in that game. Saquon Barkley against the 49ers, they have allowed the 10th most fantasy points to running backs this year. And like I said, he's been getting 20 carries plus a game lately in the last 4 games. So I do like him. Then you have the Sunday night game, and the Chargers have been good against the run. They've allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points to running backs, and the Patriots have allowed the 5th fewest. So both run defenses have been pretty good in that game. So I guess besides ETN and Barkley, maybe Christian McCaffrey, anyone else that you're looking at running back?
No.
You say no?
No.
Okay. Would you play Barkley or would you play McCaffrey?
Barkley.
Okay. Are you going to have McCaffrey at all?
What?
Are you going to have McCaffrey at all?
I'll be lower on McCaffrey level. Not by a lot, by a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's Philadelphia defense and Philly is going to be fierce. It's their offense, I think, will it be in sync or not in sync?
Yeah. Their secondary is pretty tough with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and all those guys. So yeah, it's
which allows them to cheat against the run.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we go to the wide receivers. Of course, Puka Nacua is the top receiver for me on Saturday. They did do a good job against him last time in Week 13. Devontae Adams had a better game. He had 2 touchdowns. Xavier Smith was actually the leading receiver for the Rams in that game, which is pretty surprising to me. And then I like Jalen Coker as a value play. He actually had a pretty decent game against the Rams in that Week 13 matchup. He had 17.4 DraftKings points, 74 yards on 4 catches, 6 targets for a touchdown for 74 yards, 17.4 DraftKings points. A solid game for Jalen Coker. He had a pretty nice game last week too against Tampa. So I do like Coker as a value play. The Rams, they do have a pretty tough matchup. They have Carolina has allowed the 9th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers, but with Stafford and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, they're obviously a lot better receiving core than a lot of teams have. So top 2 anyway. So yeah, I mean, any chance you fade Nacua, or you think you're just going to plug and play him on Saturday?
Play.
Yeah,
100%.
It's really
I did 100 lineups. I would do 95. Okay.
All right, then we'll look at the Saturday night game. Chicago has allowed the 2nd most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown last week had a monster game against them. Watson had a nice game against them in Week 14. Week 16, Malik Willis was in there. He only threw the ball 11 times. And also, a lot of people forget, but Christian Watson had just been in the hospital earlier that week. So he was definitely not at full strength in Week 16. So I like Christian Watson a lot. He's probably my favorite wide receiver on the slate, honestly, the whole slate, Saturday and Sunday both. Not just because I'm a Packers fan. He's been really productive, and he's pretty cheap. He's one of the cheaper receivers, if I remember right, on DraftKings, which is crazy to me. But yeah.
Look at Burden's price too.
Yeah, Burden's really cheap too. I like Burden. That was going to be my next question. So that's a good segue, is how you feel about the Bears receivers, because, Burden's been the most healthy, the most reliable of the Bears receivers of late. DJ Moore is just coming off a knee injury. He was limited yesterday. He was a full participant today. Zacchaeus has been dropping the ball, so I don't think they trust him. I don't know what Ja'Day Walker's going to do with Odunze back. Rome Odunze is going to be back, but he's dealing with a foot injury. Those usually linger, so I do have concerns that Odunze is going to be 100% from a fantasy standpoint. Obviously not in real life, because I want Odunze to struggle. But I think Burden's probably my favorite receiver for the Bears in this matchup. DJ Moore had the nice game against the Packers in Week 16, of course, got the game-winning touchdown in overtime. But, to me, it's kind of up in the air as far as who I want to play besides Burden.
Yeah. On Saturday, we just talked to this Nicholas center receivers. I have Puka, Adams, McMillan, Watson.
Puka and who?
I got Puka, Adams, McMillan.
Oh, Tedero and McMillan. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And then I got Burden.
Okay.
Got the guys after that. Jordan Reed. Going in order now. I got my head here a little more.
Yeah.
Odunze. I don't think the Packers can cover Burden. His quick footwork, and the secondary of the Packers are quick on their feet, but Burden does like a double of his feet, and no one's been covering him.
Right.
And the after catch also is making people look embarrassed out there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to try and put Evan Williams on Burden, because Evan Williams has been really good this year. He's probably been Green Bay's 2nd best defensive player, besides Michael Parsons. Like, he's been really good. So
what percent is he going to be out there?
What's that?
What percent you think he'll be out there?
Percentage of plays, or are you talking about like health?
Quality, health, stability, health.
I mean, he did play, I believe he did play against the Ravens. So I think he'll be fine. And he got an extra week of rest too. So I think he'll be full go.
Yeah. And then
Because I think they're going to put Bullard or McKinney on Loveland. So yeah, I think Burden could see some Evan Williams. I think Trayvon Diggs is probably going to be on Adunze, but we'll see.
Yeah, Adunze, I'm not so worried about, like I said, foot lingers. More, he seemed very uninspired last week. Coker, Allison played him last week. Didn't probably forgot about him. I'll be honest. I forgot about playing him. Not I forgot about him. Just forgot about putting him in my lineup.
Oops. Yeah.
And then Dobbs. Thoughts on Dobbs?
Yeah, I could see Dobbs having a nice game.
Because they can use them.
That's been more of a Malik Willis thing, though. With Malik in there, he's been looking at Dobbs a lot. Love had I think he had throw down the middle of the field against the Bears in Week 16 to Dobbs. I don't remember him targeting him too much besides that before he got hurt, obviously. And then I don't think in Week 14, I don't think Dobbs had that many targets. It was mainly Watson that was doing the damage.
So. You mentioned Smith did good against Carolina. I think with Mumfried more in the mix now, I think that's gonna limit.
Yeah, that was more of a footnote than anything. I just thought it was interesting that Smith. But Mumfrey has definitely stepped up while Devontae's been out for sure.
These guys all kind of are nice little sprinkle wins because someone like that's going to win the tournament for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a boom, go for a touchdown, or Xavier will get another guy.
Yeah, and I think if Dontavian Wicks, he's been dealing with a concussion. If he's out, I think Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden are both going to be sleepers. So we'll see.
Agree. All right, we can move on, don't we?
Yeah, we got to move on to Sunday. The Bills and the Jaguars, like I said, they've both been pretty good against receivers. If I had to go with one receiver from that game, I think I'd probably go with Parker Washington. I know we've both been playing him a lot lately. Mm-hmm. So I do like Washington. I think you can play A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both. The 49ers secondary is terrible. They got lit up by the 49ers. And, Seattle didn't really throw against them that much, honestly. They ran quite a bit. But, I like both the Eagles receivers. And then Ladd McConkey, he had a really nice game at the end of last year against New England. He had 8 catches on 10 targets for 94 yards with 2 touchdowns for 29.4 Draftkings points. Yep. He's kind of been hit and miss this year, but I think in a big game like this, he could have a nice game. So, anyone else you like at receiver on Sunday?
Stephon Diggs is healthy enough out there. He might do something.
Yeah, Chargers have been pretty good, against receivers. But Stephon Diggs could have a nice game.
I think, Jacoby Myers gets the attention. Washington, the big game, and Washington gets more of the attention, and I think Myers could have a big game. But other guys to mention real quick, Juwan Jennings,
yeah,
possibly. Shakir, Bidoni, and Pearsall.
Yeah,
I consider that'd be about it for me.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna mention one more. Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
It's playoff time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience. So
and him and Josh have been starting to connect. It's been getting more and more.
You mean Drake, right?
Oh, yeah, Drake picked me. Sorry. Yeah,
wait. You might be right. Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks is on the Bills.
Yeah. Sorry, don't let me confuse you.
Drake may. Going out there.
Yeah, we're talking about Diggs, and that's why I was thinking May. But yes, Josh Allen and Brandon Cooks have had. Yeah, because Brandon Cooks had that really nice catch. Who are they playing that last week?
He had a couple.
Yeah, really nice catch.
5 catches, 70 yards, I believe.
Yeah, he had a nice game.
But they've been, and he just joined the team a month ago.
Was it the Eagles? Yeah, I think it was the Eagles where he had a nice catch, real nice catch downfield. Yeah,
but I think 1 or 2 of those are going to be in store, and I think he does help out the receiving corps.
Yeah,
sadly,
Brandon. Brandon Cooks had a nice game against the Eagles.
Yeah. Flyer, there you go. I bet he'll be very low on too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will. He had 4 catches for 101 yards. So
that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, 14 on DraftKings is 14 fantasy points. So tight ends, as I mentioned, Colston Loveland's going to be, probably the top tight end on Saturday. He has been pretty quiet against the Packers. He's only had 29 yards receiving and 30 yards receiving in those 2 games. But lately, the last 2 games against San Francisco and Detroit, he's been targeted 23 times, averaging 23.3 DraftKings points. So if that's any indication, but then again, with the Doomsday coming back, it's kind of hard to know.
I think depending how many, exactly.
And the other game, I do like Colby Parkinson. He's still got 7 targets in 3 of their last 4 games. He's got 7 targets last week, even with Tyler Higbee back. So I like Colby Parkinson. He's averaged 14.9 DraftKings points in the last 4 games, and he's like 3,000 or something like that on DraftKings. So he's a good
value. DraftKings put Parkinson's. Yeah, I saw that. And Higbee, I think, will start eating into the role, but at that price, don't matter on DraftKings. On Fanduel, it matters a lot more.
So would you play Parkinson or Higbee more, you think?
On Fanduel?
Either slate.
Fanduel, Higbee, DraftKings, Park. Sure.
Okay.
If I'll play both.
All right.
I'd sprinkle in Musgrave. My top spot would be Loveland. Don't know if I would. Maybe and then I mentioned Tremble and Evans come at all in the same group though.
Yeah, Tremble had a touchdown last week against.
I think the more wind you see, the more short path.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so then we'll go to Sunday. Dalton Kincaid, as I mentioned, the one area that Jacksonville has been a little bit less stellar is against tight ends. They've allowed the 10th most fantasy points to tight ends. Dallas Goedert against San Francisco. San Francisco allowed the 9th most fantasy points to tight ends this year. I was talking about how Loveland had a big game against them. So I do like Dallas Goedert as well. The Eagles have been good against tight ends. They've allowed the 2nd fewest fantasy points to tight ends. The Chargers have allowed the 5th fewest fantasy points to tight ends. And I like Aronde Gadsden would be the other tight end that I'm looking at on Sunday.
Yeah. Goddard, Kincaid, Gadsden. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward in my opinion. But
Kittle, I think a good value on Fanduel, honestly. Even if he's only 6,300.
Well, not never. He had a really nice game against them in 2020, I saw. But outside of that, he hasn't really done much of anything against the Eagles. So I was looking up some stats. So.
Well, the Eagles are like always top 5 against tight ends.
Yeah. Well, they're actually number 2. They're actually number 2 against tight ends this year. So
there you go. And but it's Kittle, it's the playoff, and he's 6,300. We got on DraftKings. But on FanDuel, I mean, he's 6,300, and Reese 5,500. Goddard's 5,600. There are a lot of mouths. I mean, that's a lot of offense for Philly. Suddenly be Goddard, the receivers, and Barkley. Like I think they're going to use Barkley.
Yeah.
And if they do Barkley, then I definitely think Goddard's more in play over rather less.
Right. All right, let's move to defense. I really don't have anybody but the Rams on Saturday. I might sprinkle in a few Packers, I guess, but without Micah Parsons, it's not the same defense. So pretty much going to be just the Rams. Sunday, like Jacksonville and New England. And that's about it for defense this week.
Wow.
Not a lot of great options. Unless Houston. I do like Houston on Monday, but that's a Monday night slate, so it's not going to be a part of it.
No, you touched on it. I mean, Jack, if you don't play, the Rams are a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, the Packers aren't going to hurt if you play them.
Yeah.
But especially with cheap on Fanduel.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if the wind's kicked in, then play the weather games.
Yeah, I can
Because
see,
the rain's gonna be
that
down.
for sure too. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the last game, the Packers had held the Bears to 3 points in the first 3 quarters. So,
Yep.
I expect that again. But
And then Sunday's pretty straightforward.
yeah,
I love Jackson. Yeah, Jacksonville Monday. Houston.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize, how good Jacksonville is, especially on their defense. So
no, and then Sunday. Sunday time. Well, no, actually, like Jackson.
Yeah, Jacksonville on Sunday.
Yeah, Jacksonville I liked on Sunday's the defense. And then Philly. Thank you.
Philly, okay.
Because it can get ugly.
Yeah.
And then the Chargers have not been moving the ball very well. And so you might want to look at
New England too. Yeah, I like New England as well. All right. Well, let's check the chat. See if we have any questions here.
Yeah. None. I like it.
None. Okay. All right. Our Super Bowl prediction at the beginning of the season, you took the Ravens over the Rams, and I took the Chiefs over the Rams. So obviously, the Chiefs and the Ravens are out of it, so we can't use them. So I guess we'll start over. I am going to take the Rams to win now. I'm going to take the Rams over the Texans as my Super Bowl pick.
The Rams over the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, interesting choice. I'm going to take Seattle over
Seahawks over the Patriots. So it's going to be the reverse of, or the Seahawks won that matchup, right? Several years ago in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I think I think they're playing the two.
No, the Patriots won. It was the Marshawn Lynch deal. Yeah, the Patriots won. That's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here goes my voice.
The end zone. They threw the interception in the end zone. Yeah. So you got the Seahawks over the Patriots. I've got the Rams over the Texans. My lock of the week this week, I'm going to take the Rams over the Panthers. I know the Panthers won last time, but I think the Rams, when Stafford threw 3 interceptions, I believe, the last time they played. So I don't see that happening again. And I really think that's the only way that Carolina is going to win that game is if they get a bunch of turnovers. So I think Stafford will protect the ball better, and the Rams will win comfortably. Who's your?
I'll see my first lock, my second lock.
Your second lock was what?
None. I have Houston.
Houston over Pittsburgh. Okay. My upset, quote unquote, in my opinion, it really shouldn't be an upset. The Jacksonville Jaguars over the Buffalo Bills. Jaguars are +1 at home, so I'm going to take them to upset the Bills.
Yep, nailed it.
What's your other upset that you like this week?
If there's gonna be another upset, it's gonna be either San Fran beating Philly, which I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
And so I'm going to the Bears.
You're gonna take the Bears. All right.
Yep. That'd be my second upset.
Bears at +1 at home. Interesting enough.
All right. People are smart.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, I think that's the major update you're looking at. It wasn't shot like that.
You don't think that line's going to move though by tomorrow night? I mean, I would think a lot of people are going to start betting on the Bears.
I don't think so. No, I don't. No, I think that they see the Bears as a team that can't play defense.
Yeah.
And I see almost as good a chance as, honestly, I think that the Packers might not have their best quarterback starting this weekend.
Yeah. I have to disagree, but that's okay.
It's close, but it's close.
Yeah, I don't think it's that close, honestly. But that's just
I think,
and I really like Malik Willis, and
I think Willis has
throws
improved
he
that
made against
much.
Baltimore were very impressive. I will give him
Mhm.
that. But what Malik Willis, the difference between Willis and Love is when it comes to pre-snap. And Love can read a defense and adjust a lot quicker than Willis at this point in their career. Because Willis just doesn't have the experience, So that's where I give, when you look at the intangibles and everything else, as far as like physical skill and stuff like that, it's very even. I agree there. But as far as experience and pre-snap and stuff like that, that's where I give Love the advantage. So
Yeah, right, and I do agree with you on that, except for the part where they're equal in talent. They're not.
yeah.
Wills is more talented physically, run and arm. Now, I love fastball is down about 5 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That does worry me. I don't know what's going on there. Last year was that way. But what I do agree, and the more important thing is reading the defense, Josh.
Yeah.
Right now, at this point, I agree that Love is a better quarterback.
Right.
We be in a year or two.
You'll be disagreeing when
I'll be disagreeing. I'll be disagreeing with you when Love doesn't run the ball and there's 20 yards empty field at him.
Yeah, I really do. I do think
that's where I'll be screaming at Love on my TV to run 3 yards for a first down.
I do think Malik Willis is going to be in Minnesota next year, so we'll see what happens.
I don't. I see $50 million in cap for Minnesota, and they can't get him in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be a really good fit. I do. I think that Minnesota would really be a good team with if they had a quarterback like Malik Willis. So
yeah, I mean, Willis might go to Indianapolis too.
Yeah, I could see that, especially because then he can get his revenge on Tennessee.
Oh gosh.
So
all right.
Yep. All right. Bold predictions. My bold prediction is going to be the Bills score less than 20 points. Like I said, the Jaguars have allowed 19.8 points per game. The Bills average 28.3, but I think that I'm going to say Jacksonville holds them to 17 points. So
many points are expected to be scored in that game?
51, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
taking the under.
51.5. So
what does Vegas know that we don't?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that'd be 34 to 17. I don't think Jacksonville's going to win by 17 points. So
my bold prediction is that Pittsburgh doesn't score a touchdown.
Brock Purdy?
No, Pittsburgh doesn't score a touchdown.
Oh, Pittsburgh doesn't score a touchdown. Okay.
And in fact, they score 3 points.
Wow. Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers has to retire. Anyways.
3 points and Aaron Rodgers retires?
Well, no, he doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't retire. Okay.
No, I'm thinking 6 points. And quite frankly, go DK Metcalf back. I think that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to say Pittsburgh scores how many points? 6?
We'll go 6.
Okay. Pittsburgh scores 6 points and Aaron Rodgers won't retire. All right. No new questions in the chat.
No.
We've got a free square on Prizepicks. So Caleb Williams got 0.5 passing yards on Saturday. So obviously put that in all your plays. My other plays, I'm going to go with Stafford more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. He threw for 2 or more in 15 of their 17 games this year. And I'm going to take Kyle Monangai more than 10.5 rushing attempts. Like I said, he's a bigger back than Swift in that kind of weather. I think they're going to rely on him more. So I do like Monangai to get more than 10.5. I mean, he probably get 12, 13, and Swift might get 20. But Yeah, I think they're going to run a lot.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing about the Love conversation is I do agree with you on Love. Is that Love will throw the ball, is knowing that receiver will end up being there.
Yeah.
And Willis is nowhere close to being there yet.
Right. But he did make that, like I said, he did make that nice throw down the field. First play of the game, I think it probably caught Baltimore off guard, deep to Romeo Dobbs. So that was a really nice throw.
But it is, and it'll script it. Beginning game.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'd love to do it in the third, fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's go to our two brain lineup. I was going to do the Saturday slate, two-game Saturday slate. So let's see here. And then, of course, we'll have our Sunday GPP as well, and we'll put that out on our Discord, obviously, and probably going to put it on X too, to get that to everybody. So we'll give two lineups out this week for the playoffs. And we've been doing pretty well with these lately, for sure. So
we have.
I think, I believe it's my turn to pick the quarterback. I think you picked last time. Is that right?
Why not?
All right. I think that's the case. All right. So we'll go with.
I gotta reset.
I gotta find the.
I gotta reset my
to put this.
You want to make sure it's me. So I'm redoing all this. There we go.
We sorted by price.
No, I did that a couple of days ago, Pascal.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go with. This is the wrong one. This is Sunday. Hang on a second. There we go. Saturday.
Oh, I did. Did Saturday, Sunday, one day. He said he got like I'll do it all day.
Oh, you want to do Saturday, Sunday, or do you want to do Saturday?
No, this Saturday.
Okay. All right. I guess we both like Jordan Love for GPP, so I'm going to take Love.
Okay. What is ownership? If it doesn't, that's it. A second.
Corum's only 5,700. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I already got it in my lineups. I got Love, Corum. What do Corum next?
You do Corum, okay. And I will take Manungai.
I got it in here in a second. Oh, and then we're looking at Puka.
Yep.
Watson.
Yep.
I do Burden.
Okay. Colston. Or actually, no. GPP. Let's go Parkinson.
Good.
Yeah. And we got flex and defense.
Yeah. It's Parkinson in there. Parkinson. And okay. I will do the defense. I'll do the Packers. You go ahead.
Packers, okay. And then I will take.
You got 20.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna move Watson to the flex, and I'm going to put McMillan at wide receiver.
So it means one Packer receiver.
Yeah. but we got the one that I think is going to be the main one.
Okay.
So we got Love, Corum, Manungai, Puka Nakua, Ted Rowe, McMillan, Luther Burden III, Colby Parkinson, Christian Watson, and a Packers defense.
Let's do the Rams defense.
Okay. Yeah, I feel better about that. We got 1,200 left over too. Let's see.
Yeah, I had 709 over the ones I did earlier. You can upgrade on range.
I can go Swift, but I really like Manungai, so I'm going to stick with Manungai. Devontae or McMillan?
If we're doing Rams defense, we could do.
I mean, I know it's kind of different to have Nakua and Adams both, but let's just go with McMillan. Let's just stick with McMillan.
Yeah, the only other thought I had would be Coker, and then I'll upgrade a running back.
What, Coker instead of McMillan?
And then upgrade a running back, yep.
Okay, if we do that, we
can upgrade on either Corum or Manungai.
Yeah, if we upgraded Corum, we could upgrade it to either Williams or Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you like more?
Jacobs.
Okay. All right.
Plus, he can catch a pass.
Yeah. So you got Love, Jacobs, Manungai, Nakua, Coker, Burden, Parkinson, Watson in the Rams defense.
The boys band, what we're calling it.
What's that?
Anyways, yeah. Well, the boy name that started with that lasted forever.
Oh.
I don't remember what their name was. Everybody back in the 80s anyway. Not Millie Manoli either. They were like for 30 years. I'm saying that name.
Trying to see if any lines have moved since I refreshed. No, they're still all the same.
Yeah.
Rams 10.5. They're the big favorite this week for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think rightfully so. I mean, 8-9 playoff team is kind of crazy. So. And they only won it because of the whole tiebreaker too. So.
Yeah, I thought
it could have easily been Atlanta, which seems like they had a bad year, but they would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, look at the division. Okay, they're all Atlanta won the last 4 games of the year and it makes playoffs with the same record of teams. Get that when they're still third in the division. And then the Bears are the only second team in NFL modern history since the Super Bowl began that made the playoffs with a losing divisional record.
True. Yeah. What were they? 2-4, I think, in the division.
Yeah. Maybe.
They beat the Bears and they beat the Bears. They beat the Vikings and they beat the Packers. Yeah, they're 2-4. Yep.
They're still in A. I got all kinds of numbers. Philadelphia is undefeated in the wild card, and so.
Oh, really? They've never lost in the wild card?
Or who's Philly playing again? Sorry.
San Francisco.
Yeah, both undefeated in the wild card.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and Philly's undefeated at home in the wild. Or
yeah.
Of course, it would be right.
Right. They got the crazy crowd.
Yeah, and then it's just weird, but it's gonna be a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot. Obviously, the Saturday night game is going to be my attention's going to be, but the whole weekend should be pretty good. All the games should be pretty good. So that's going to do it for our wild card weekend podcast. Any last minute thoughts before we get out of here?
No, wish me luck Getting the lineups ready for tonight.
for NBA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who you like in the college football playoffs?
I really rooting for Indiana.
Yeah.
I really
wins too.
And their toughest game will be this one.
Yeah. I hope Miami and Indiana win, but we'll see what happens. I don't really like Old Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Thanks for listening. Even though half the people are listening basketball right now, they'll listen to it later.
True. Yeah. They'll listen to it later. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We will absolutely crush Wild Card Weekend, and we'll be back again next week for the divisional playoffs as we do look to, as always, crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Have a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.